This artist is of royal priesthood. This artist is of a chosen generation. This artist is from a holy nation. That is the chant that I have in my head. That is why I see myself through my own eyes. I see myself through the eyes of my parents. I pray that I see myself through the eyes of God. At least that's what He says I am. And so why so much the focus on eyes? In my art, you will see that I place a lot of emphasis on the eyes. My mother always used to say to us, if we wore sunglasses, take off your glasses so I can see your eyes. I'm a firm believer that the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. And so I am constantly trying to see something greater than what's before me. If I see a woman who maybe have a garment that's not making her look that good, or if I see a woman that does not appear to have self-pride, I always think, what if I could just pull her hair back? Or what if I could have 10 minutes of her attention to let her know how beautiful she is? Or if I see a young man with a downcast spirit, or if I feel like a soul is hurting, or if I see a child who seems to be dispossessed, or conveying that he or she does not have self-awareness, I think to myself, how can I go inside and help them become all that God has called them to be? I can't say that that's my job, but it certainly is my heart's desire to see a soul released. So how do I do that for myself? I'm constantly looking through your eyes and through my own eyes. How do I look through your eyes? By the way you respond to me. And though I do not use your response as a guideline for my life, I acknowledge it. But what about my own eyes? What do I see when I look in the mirror? What do I see when I'm not looking in the mirror? What am I feeling when I'm looking in the mirror? What am I feeling when I look at my hands? What am I feeling when I look at your hands? My journey walks everywhere. When I was a kid and could not travel very far outside of the state, my journey took me to books, and I read and I dreamed and I hoped and I prayed and I imagined, and I'm still imagining. I'm still imagining paradises of birds. I'm still imagining waterfalls and rainbows and squirrels playing in the yard, and a family of deer. But how does that manifest itself in my art? It manifests itself through lines. It manifests itself through blotches of color. And usually, even when I do not contrive to place eyes inside of those lines and those blotches of color, you still find eyes. My journey has taken me to college. My journey has taken me to graduate school. My journey has taken me to postgraduate studies. My journey has taken me through the streets of Oakland, through the streets of Palo Alto, through the streets of Chattanooga, through the streets of New York, through the streets of Mount Gilead, North Carolina. And what have I seen? I have seen dancers who were fainting in their hope. I have seen artists who were blind to themselves. I have seen musicians who could not hear their own songs. And what have I seen from the royal priesthood? I have seen dancers who were fierce in their movements. I have seen artists who threw caution to the wind. And I have seen musicians who heard the voice of God and sang to it. And all of that's in my art. My journey has taken me into churches that were cold and unfeeling and who destroyed the spirit. I have seen clubs that abused the body and the mind and disrespected everything around it. I have seen playgrounds that tortured little children. But I have seen playgrounds of rescue, of butterflies. I have seen clubs that played music that just freed the soul. And I have been in churches and seen churches that you just felt like you were going to fly any minute because that's just how happy you were. And it's in my art. That's my journey.